What's up, guys? Sean here, going to explain to you how to answer this question correctly. So we got this supporting evidence question about this passage about the possible origins of cat domestication. Now, this passage or this question it looks harder than it actually is. And we can tell by looking at the question. The question just asks, which finding if true would most directly undermine the claim that cats were first domesticated in Israel, which relates to this last question, which means that all this other stuff about Cyprus, we don't really have to pay as much attention to. So if we look at the last sentence, scientists now believe that cats were first domesticated around Israel based on the abundance of 10,000-year-old dwellings with mouse remains, suggesting opportunities for cats willing to approach people to hunt house mice. Now, so this claim or this hypothesis, it depends on, or it started from the remains of 10,000-year-old mice in Israel, but it's just based on the mice. So if the existence or discovery of 10,000-year-old mice remains in Israel leads to a hypothesis about cats being domesticated in Israel, then we just have to undermine this, right? We undermine it by trying to find, like, well, what if there are no cats, right? So despite the evidence of things that might suggest cat domestication or even the existence of or presence of cats, what if there are no cats? So let's look for that. If we look at answer choice alpha, archaeologists found 9,000-year-old Egyptian tablet stating that strangers brought cats from abroad. Well, that has almost very little connection to the claim of cats being domesticated in Israel particularly. So it doesn't really support or undermine it. Bravo, the tools used to date the burial site in Cyprus were proven to be faulty. Okay, even if this were true, it doesn't really undermine this particular claim about cats possibly being domesticated in Israel. Now, Charlie, evidence of domesticated cat remains older than 3,500 years old has yet to be found in Israel. So even though they found these older mouse remains, if they haven't found any cat remains that match the mice remains, then that would pretty much directly undermine this claim. So Charlie looks very good. Answer choice Delta, another burial site in Cyprus is found with similarly dated remains of humans and cats whose DNA are consistent with those of Indus River Valley civilizations. Again, this one, it doesn't really undermine this particular claim about cat domestication beginning in Israel about 10,000 years ago. So this is here really as kind of a diversion, something to tempt you because it has a reference to Cyprus. So you might look at it and you're like, oh man, it's kind of tempting because I see this reference. But we're looking to undermine this particular claim, so we want to stay focused on what the claim is. So Charlie's your answer. Got it? Good.